Hello everyone, my name is Demetrius Mack, and today I want to talk to you guys about gaming, things going on in gaming, the gaming world. Pretty much kind of like a gaming news update thing, something that I'm going to do probably once per month at the end of the month, pretty much going over the biggest things in gaming. Not, of course, according to me, different people have different preferences, but for me, a few things that I want to address and that I want to talk about that pretty much could affect gaming and the whole gaming world going forward. So there's a few things I want to discuss with you today, and hopefully you guys like this, and if so, I'll be able to continue doing this because this is something that is definitely, I can see myself being very passionate about, and I've got some subjects today that I'm definitely at the very least intrigued by. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Nintendo Switch. Uh, a lot of people had mixed feelings about the Switch, saying there was problems with it, there was warping, there was the screen getting scratched, there was the black rainbow screen, and all types of nonsense. But for the most part, worldwide, this has sold very well. In fact, it has sold even more copies in its launch month than the Game Boy Advance, which was Nintendo's previous largest hardware seller. And it has overtaken that spot. In fact, the Nintendo Switch is literally the second largest console selling so far in its opening month of all time. Now, a lot of skeptics are like, oh, the Switch is this, the Switch is that. And I have to admit myself, I was one of them. One of the things that really just got me back was was just the pricing of it. In fact, and what I mean that it was relatively affordable, being about $300 for the machine, but then you have to go pay for the cartridges, which are more expensive because they're exclusive to the system. They're not something that you can just press onto a disc. They have to be exclusively made for this system. And then of course, you have to buy memory space. Some games even taking up as much space as the Nintendo Switch, and it was just a whole bunch of added costs that I feel like Nintendo threw in there just to be a-holes. But it seems like that's still not stopping the sales at all. It seems like people are still going out and buying this thing, which is really good because from the end, even though with all the problems and all the skepticism that I originally had about this, I said that I wanted this to do really well, and it appears that it's doing just that. And as a matter of fact, I was speaking on the Nintendo Switch breaker. It actually sold, here according to my source here that I'm looking at, it sold 31,000 more units than the Game Boy Advance during the same 1 month launch period. And that is just simply incredible. People are putting faith into this machine. It's starting to look like more possibility of third-party developers coming in and supporting, because this is the type of success that they wanted to see. This is the type that they wanted to come through and see before they wanted to invest in this system. And right now, it's looking like the system is going to do very well. It's doing very well. I just wish Nintendo would kind of ease up on the pricing, but I guess it's not stopping people, so they're obviously not going to stop. Now, the next piece of news I want to share with you folks is, if you have heard or you may not have heard, is the rumored PlayStation 5 or the next generation PlayStation coming out as early as 2018. Now that is just complete. If I'm Sony, there is no way in hell that I have just released this new quote-unquote state-of-the-art PlayStation 4 Pro, and then I'm coming out with a brand new state-of-the-art machine just a little over a year later. That's basically a big middle finger to all the people who you sold the PlayStation Pro to. PlayStation 4 Pro to. I don't think it's going to happen. The only sources that I've seen or heard from is from apparently the guy, and this is why the reason the whole thing's all riled up in the first place is because the guy who apparently predicted the PlayStation 4 Pro, he's back at it again, and he's the one saying he's got an inside source that he's heard something, and he rightly predicted the PlayStation 4 Pro when it was going to come out. So I guess people are starting to be like, hey, he predicted this. Why not him predict this? But honestly, my timetable for this thing would be 2020 at the very earliest, because there's no need. We're still, this generation is at its mature age right now, but it's not at the age where people are exclusively looking for something new, where people are just completely done with this generation. It's still in its mature form where the sales are not going to be where it once was, but you're still having a consistent, sales per month and everything. So I think it's way too early for this to come out. But obviously there's some rumors about it coming out, and I don't think they're going to happen. But if it does happen, that'd be That'd be very weird, and it'd definitely be close enough with the Scorpio being released later on this year. I think it'd definitely be a machine that would be compared to the Scorpio. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this, but if you ask me, and if you ask most people, honestly, this machine is nothing but just rumors out there. And this machine, this next generation machine, is probably not going to come out by 2020. You know, 2020 at the very least. And the last bit of thing that kind of really just pretty much caught my attention in the month of April. This was actually just released at the time of this recording on Saturday, actually, is Pokemon Go, folks. You remember the game that we all used to play, out tirelessly searching for Pokemon nonstop, and then we didn't? Well, according to Niantic, another big, yes, they're still producing content for this game, but another big reveal is supposed to be happening, and another big content update is supposed to be happening that supposedly is going to include Generation 1 and Generation 2 legendary Pokemon. And again, I will link everything that I'm reading to you guys, all this information I'm getting. I will link the website where I'm getting this so you guys can definitely fact check it and you guys can definitely see for yourself what I'm talking about. But it appears that Niantic has 100% said that they are going to release Generation 1 and Generation 2 Pokemon legendaries in the year 2017. So I think that's a very bold move, but it's a very late move. I mean, obviously, a lot of people aren't playing the game, especially not how it used to be. But I think this might be their one attempt or another yet attempt to bring people back into this game. Is legendaries going to be enough to get people to bring back into this game? They're also adding, I think, more Generation 2 Pokemon as well with this thing. So it really looks like they're trying to go forward and bring a lot of their player base back with this one huge update, which I don't know what's going to work, because people have pretty much already moved on from this game, and I don't know if it can ever recover the state, that it once was. But to no avail, Niantic is still going forward with it. They're still producing content. They're still doing events, and they still obviously have a player base which people play and play dedicatedly. So we're gonna see how this all plays out. And that is pretty much all the news that I got for you guys. There's a bunch of other things that happened, but I really want to focus on those 3 stories because they really just stuck out to me. Thought it was pretty interesting, especially the Niantic one there at the end with Pokemon Go. I thought a lot of people would be interested in, hearing that they're giving one last go around, no pun intended, to, try and restore their player base to what it once was around launch time. But I do want to end this episode with most anticipated game for the month of May. And I plan on doing that, when I do these shows, I'm going to leave you guys with a most anticipated game. And my most anticipated game happens to be the new Friday the 13th game that is coming out in May. And I gotta say, there are a bunch of games where there's survival type modes, in horde mode and like a Gears of War, something like that. Or there's a game like, Alien Isolation where you're playing as something and you're hiding from something. Or even a game like Outlast, where you're basically hiding. But having that all, condensed in as a multiplayer experience, that is going to be very interesting to me. I think this game is going to do very, very well. A lot of people might be scared that it's going to get really repetitive really quick. But I think this is going to be the good kind of repetitive. Kind of like how Overwatch is, where basically Overwatch, you play the same game modes over and over again, but it's still so fun because there's a variety of what you get to do. I think if these maps are really, if you can really interact with these maps, if the ability to play as Jason and the kill styles, and I think maybe the kills from Jason are probably going to be a little bit repetitive. I don't know, possibly. But other than that, I think this game is going to do really well, and I think it's going to shock some people. So let me know, folks. What do you think? What is the game you look forward to the most this upcoming month of May? Is it Friday the 13th, or is it something else? I'd love to know what you guys think, and be sure to let me know in the comment section below, folks. And with that, folks, I will leave you off to ponder on this. E3 is coming. we're only a few months away from E3, and for those of you who don't know, I am attending E3. Obviously not as a special guest or something, just as a fan, of course. But there's a lot of good games that I'm expecting to get revealed there. A lot of things that are going to be expected to be revealed there. And this whole PlayStation 5 thing, if it's not revealed there, then it's not happening. So we'll get to the absolute bottom of this about time E3 comes off. So We'll see how things pan out with this whole PlayStation 5 fiasco. As always, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this if you aren't already subscribed. And make sure to turn on that bell notification. That way you will always be notified whenever I upload a video and you will not miss a thing. Now, I'm about to go ahead and record my newest episode of Real Talk, so don't be all freaked out while I'm wearing the same outfit as I am come Monday. That's just because I'm filming these things back to back. And so I will see you all in the next video. Until then, I'm Demetrius Mack, and I'm out. Peace.